Hi and welcome to Section 4, Microsoft Access, Publishing Data Using Reports. Building Quick Reports. In this video I'll be covering the following: what Access reports are and how they differ from a form, creating a simple one-click report, exploring the 4 view modes of a report, working with the page setup options, discovering the print preview mode and using the ribbon bar, and how to export reports from print preview. Let's get started. So, what are reports? Reports are very similar to forms, but data cannot be edited, it's locked. There are more sections available for a report, making this a more flexible Access object. There's an additional view mode called Print Preview mode. There's a dedicated Groups and Sorting tool, making managing sections and data groups a breeze. It provides a richer wizard tool compared to the forms version. And it's quick and easy to use functions from the ribbon bar, meaning there's less of a need to use the Expression Builder tool. Here is a very simple and easy way to create your first Access report using the one-click action method. Decide on the source for your new report, which can either be a table, query, form, or even another report, though that would be really pointless. I'm going to base a new report on an existing query, as to be fair, most reports are generated from the underlying queries. Let's quickly review an existing query so we can see how the report will be used in this record set. By opening the query called Customer Orders 2015 and view the record set, we can see there are 328 records for all customer orders recorded for the year 2015. Here's the design view to confirm this too. There are 3 joined tables, which I will be covering in the next section about Access relationships. For now, we need to understand that even though I can apply a sort in a query, you can also do this in a report too. And in this query, this has not been applied. It just has the one criteria. Also, we have covered how to add calculated fields in a query. Again, this has been left out, as calculated fields can also be applied in an Access report as well. It's just a matter of deciding on the scope for your reports. As if you can recall from the first video section, queries are the heart of a database and serve many other objects, whereas the report only serves just its own object. I'm going to close this query, ready to build my first report. Next, with the query selected but not opened, you can quickly generate a report using the standard Access template in place. On the Create tab from the ribbon bar, under the Report section, you'll see the first icon called Report. Click it. The report appears in a report layout view, which means you can see the records and apply some formatting and other properties all in one view. Do note, however, even though a report has been created from a simple one-click method, it's far from complete in terms of orientation and formatting, though it's reasonable to presume it's missing other attributes like sorting, grouping, as well as some calculated fields, both at the detail and summary level. I can at least start to tidy up a report using this view for convenience, like relabel the title and apply some basic formatting. For example, I could relabel the title by changing its caption to Customer Orders 2015. Under the Arrange tab and in the Position section, setting the control padding to None. This would apply wherever you've placed the cursor, so ensure you have placed the cursor in the section first before applying any action. This will be typical when formatting a report. Closing the report, I'm prompted to save a new report. There are 4 viewing modes for a report. Report View, which will run the report as a screen view use, and no design changes can take place here. Only some very basic record navigation and filter options here on the Home tab. You can select the values in a field to copy, but nothing of any value can be carried out here. As far as this view is concerned, it's a full view of the locked records. The Print Preview mode is very much like the conventional Microsoft Word's Print Preview, and will provide a final view before this report is physically printed or exported. It shows a true representation of the report, including orientation, which you may notice set as portrait. A better orientation for this report would suggest this to be set as landscape to make all the fields fit. you can click anywhere on the preview to toggle between 100% and page view, which reveals the total number of pages for this report. To return and choose other views, you will need to close the preview first by using the last icon provided here on the ribbon bar. The layout view, as we have already seen, allows a mix of both working with records and applying properties to the design at the same time. And the last view is the design view mode, which is very different indeed, and may at first appear a little disorientating to work in. This view is very similar to the Forms design view and follows along the same lines of how to control properties. There is one additional tab alongside the standard 3 as already seen with Forms, and this is called Page Setup. Let's focus on the Print Preview mode. The assumption that a report was built to be either printed or exported requires some checks and tweaks to be carried out. When running the report, you may sometimes see a message pop up in connection to the section being wider than the natural page width, as this is the actual print preview and reflects a true representation of a printed page. In Design View then, I will bring the section width closer to the last field, which will take care of the issue. Dragging the edge over the last control or even over it will bounce to the furthest point and last control on the right. Now, switching to the print preview once again shows the report with its own dedicated ribbon bar. Running through the icons then off the ribbon bar will give you some ideas of the print preview's function. At any time, the last icon will take you back to the previous view. The first icon is the familiar print icon, which displays the Windows Print dialog box. The size icon provides predefined paper sizes to print to. The margins icon allows for the edge to be increased or decreased without numerically setting them like so. The Print Data Only icon is a convenient toggle view showing just the data or the data with formatting. Notice Show Margins is not available here but can be used in Design View mode only, where there is a Page Setup tab. You can decide on the orientation as we've already seen. There is also a Columns icon to split your data into 2 or more columns, subject to the orientation and if the number of columns and its dimensions will fit. The Page Setup will need tweaking too. If you click the Page Setup icon, it will display the same dialog box as the columns, but focuses on the first tab instead. You will also note the middle tab is another way to change the orientation as well. In fact, the Page Setup covers all previous sections covered, including the numerical settings for the margins. Here's the standard zoom in and out control, or you can zoom the control to the bottom right control here. To view multiple page views, use the 1, 2 or more page options. Remember, it's not always about seeing the data, but more important about the viewed page setup attributes, so it can fit to the paper being printed to. In the final section on the ribbon bar, you can see the data section for exporting your reports out to other applications. Excel is the most popular option for most reports, and will be in a tabulated style report with the following example. For Excel then, you can decide the folder and file name to generate the new external file, and choose one of the 2 basic formats available. Decide if you want to open and view the exported report, and then click the OK button. You'll find similar screen appears for most export icons available with the exception of the PDF option. The More icon provides a few more output options too, including Microsoft Word, which will format this as an RTF file format and not as a DOC file format. To summarize then, you now have discovered reports and know the difference between a report and a form, have created a simple one-click report, explored the 4 view modes of a report, been shown the page setup options, worked with the print preview mode using the ribbon bar, and know how to export reports from the print preview mode.